I was expecting the I don't know why, but I was expecting the fucking claps and all that shit.
Oh, I got you.
I told me I'm going to do that.
Welcome.
Thank you. You're far too kind. Hey, it is 8:00 in the east, 5:00 in the west. You are now tuned into Around the Way with Stacks and Nick J. Nick is a little under the weather tonight, so I got the what we call it the cousin's corner tonight. Me and Nick, me and my cousin, we gonna kick it with y'all for a little bit. You know, how you doing? Matter of fact, how you doing, cousin? How your weekend been? And I mean, I know we gonna get into some of your weekend, but
yes.
How you been? How your day been? How everything going on your end?
Good. I had a really good weekend. I had a very, very good weekend. It included music and food, and I'm all for it. I had a good weekend. Finally. Sometimes my weekends, I'll be excited for the weekend to come because I'm like, oh, great, I can get to do nothing. And sometimes doing nothing is doing something, right? Because you'll be busy during the week and you just look forward to planning to do nothing. But this weekend I was outside, so I had a good weekend.
Yeah, I was outside as well. We'll get into that, but it felt weird for me because I think I've told everybody that I'm pretty much a homebody, and it was a whole lot of work. Um, getting up on Sunday and getting myself mentally prepared for what turned out to be a bomb ass Sunday, which we
Yes,
can talk about. We're gonna talk about later. But before we get into the shits, I'm gonna let's shout out the squad, the guys podcast team. We got Sean, Merv. Before I shout out anybody else, if anybody can find Merv like in the Columbia area, I need you to find him and then immediately take his fucking phone.
Please.
Find that motherfucker and take his phone. He must be stopped. He must be stopped at all costs.
Listen, for those of y'all that are probably aware, we have a group chat. Today, the group chat was pure evil. First, it was Sean. It was a little bit of everybody. First, it was Sean. Then it was Stacks. Then it was me.
Except me. You can leave me out. I was the angel of the entire operation. So you ain't telling the story right. But Merv, Merv in particular, Sean too, but Merv in particular, I don't know what happened, but somebody need to find him and tackle him and take his phone. But yeah. So shout out to Merv. Shout out to Sean.
Now, y'all know for Facebook Messenger, you can see if somebody has viewed it because then the bubble of their profile pic comes up. So all day we could see the chat was lit all day. We could see Merv periodically come in and we could see that he read the messages and didn't respond because people are working. Stack said one little thing, and it was the bat signal. Here come Merv. And as soon as Merv commented in our group chat, everybody else comments like, oh shit, here come Merv. And it was on for like a good 2 hours after that. Everybody was like, Merv, where did you come from? And why are you like this?
That needs to be said. He ought to be ashamed of himself. But shout out to Sean, shout out to Merv, shout out to Mark, shout out to Tina B, shout out to Tazon, Street Team General, shout out to Nick J, get well soon. Shout out to did I leave anybody out?
No.
Shout out to Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Stream TV Channel 6, Blackjack TV Channel 199, Bobby Blackjack come through, and our wonderful listeners out there at 1 Mile High Radio. We appreciate the support. We go sit with y'all for a little bit tonight, just a little minute. We gonna go over a couple of things, not much, but damn, I didn't even type the damn.
We're here for a good time, not a long time. Tonight won't be a 2-hour pod. At least we're gonna try for it not to be.
So, one of the biggest things we got going on right now is something that a lot of us hasn't seen in a lifetime. And the funny thing is that it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with the United States, but it's a world. It's kind of like the Queen just died. She's not our queen, but she's Great Britain queen, and a lot of people. Yeah, she's somebody queen. She and there's a lot of nations. A lot of people I think don't understand. There's like Commonwealth. There's a lot of nations that she reigned over. 70-year reign. She died. I want to say a couple of weeks ago on the 9th or something like that. But bunch of pageantry and a bunch of pomp and all kind of stuff involved
Yes.
when the monarchy changes. So her son, who is now King Charles III, is now the king of Great Britain in the Commonwealth. Um, and the everything that's going on. I'm a historian. Anything that even if it's something like that's traumatic or whatever, because we got a lot of traumatic history going on with Black people. But I like things that's historical and all kind of stuff like that. So when the Queen died, I started watching the Crown on Netflix. Very
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
very intriguing. Uh, Everybody, what people have to realize is that when the Queen died, like everybody, I guess you have some people out there that had an expectation that everybody was going to be in mourning and things of that nature. But Trevor Noah, who South Africa used to be part of the British Empire, so he was a subject of the Queen. I'm going to show this video. He had a very interesting take on the death of the Queen, and I think it's a message. It's pretty long. I'm trying not to play the whole thing. But it's a really good message, Becca. We're going to go in and talk about this. Let's go.
You know, this whole Queen saga has been an interesting insight into how people see the world around them. You know, because obviously the Queen passed away at the age of 96. She's had a good run. She did. 96. Like, you've lived your best life. My grand passed away at 96. It was the same thing. As a family, obviously, you're sad to let somebody go, but it's 96. You celebrate that the person's lived the life. They've lived it fully, you know? And what was fascinating to me was seeing how angry people were that not everybody had the same opinion of the Queen and how much they wanted other people to have that in a really ignorant way, to be honest, you know? Because the Queen dies. Obviously, there will be people who mourn, you know? There's people who mourn because she symbolizes a nation. There will be people who mourn because they've grown up with her their entire lives. There will be people who mourn because she's a family member, she's a grandmother, she's a mother, whatever we get that. But I'm shocked that people want others who were under the British Empire to share the same level of mourning. Why would they do it? People are like, show some respect. This person died, and people are like, so what? Like everywhere, you know what I mean? All over Africa, you know, all over India, there's so many places in the world where people go, yeah, but do you know what the British Empire did to us? And people are like, but that's somebody's grandmother. Just show some reverence. And I actually found it interesting because I was like, you know what it is most of the time? It's not about respecting the person or what they've done or what they have. In a weird way, it's that people have this strange reverence for fame. You know, it's that a famous person has gone, and so everyone must respect them regardless of what the famous person is famous for. You can't say to people who have been oppressed by the British Crown that they should not in some way, shape, or form say whatever they want. First of all, the person's gone, right? It's not like they're crying wherever they are. They're gone. That's the first thing to admit. Right? And secondly, you can't expect people to show respect for something that never respected them. You know? You can't expect people... You can't expect people to now buy into this idea that never respected or bought into theirs. I mean, the Crown went from country to country. South Africa, we grew up as British subjects in that way, like we still had that impression. In other countries, it was even more pronounced. You know, you go all around the Caribbean, you go to India, you go all over the world, really, everywhere the empire was. And people go, oh, this is why we still have to dress this way. We were told that our clothes were primitive or tribal by the British. You know, our languages were squashed, our cultures were discarded. That wasn't respect. And people are like, yeah, but she's a grandmother. And I go like, yeah, but the people who were her subjects were also grandmothers. You know what I mean? My grandmother literally used to tell me stories about the Queen. Like my grandmother also died at the age of 96. You know, my grandmother lived a very different life to the Queen. And it's not about comparing the people, it's just saying that she had a different perspective of the Queen. Funny enough, my gran never hated the Queen or anything. I find most African parents and some in parts of Asia where the empire ruled, they were more shocked than anything else. You know, older people of color were more just like, what? They're like, the Queen is wow, this is like it's a moment in time that reminds them of so much and where the country was and how they were in Kenya, South Africa, you know, parts of Southern Africa. Or you can feel that people, they still understand that it's a momentous occasion, you know, but you can't expect them to mourn it in the same way. And I think that's something we struggle with in life sometimes, is understanding that our relationship with somebody may not be the relationship that other people had with that person. And that's fine. You can say, hey, this is my queen. I still love what she represents. Yeah, that's your queen. But don't expect everybody else to now adopt. Because basically what you're doing is now recolonizing the people and being like, this is who you support. This is who you cheer for. This. No. You do your mourning.
Okay.
I love it.
I know that was long, but the thing I like, matter of fact, no, I'll defer to you. What did you get from that vehicle? I mean, from that video?
Listen, I often love when Trevor Noah gives his perspective in this way, because he comes from a different background. He really is an African. He comes from a different understanding of America, its politics, and everything like that. Yes, I'm behind him with the you know, my fist in the air, like Trevor. I totally agree with him, and that is the most eloquent way I've heard this understanding being explained, because you did have a lot of people that were saying, regardless of who she was and what she did, it is immoral to just be happy that somebody has died. That's what they were all thinking about, but I mean, we've seen this, and this is probably the worst example, but even in Wizard of Oz, they were happy that the damn queen was dead. A house, you know, fell on her and all of that. So we already know this. If somebody is ruling over you and they're ruling over you harshly and they die, what other response do you think the person is going to have? It is ridiculous for you to say, oh, don't mourn that person because it looks like you're happy that somebody is dead. Yes, the person that ruled over me and caused me and my family several generations of pain and hurt and oppression has died. You lucky we didn't have a block party. You lucky we didn't shut the city down and put up tape and have a parade. You lucky that all we did on Black Twitter was crack jokes about how Princess Diana like gonna let her into the gates. You lucky that Black Twitter only gave y'all jokes. Because at this point, if somebody is ruling over me, that has ruled over my family for hundreds of years, you mean, you see, and the thing about it is that this is history. Just like you said, you like this kind of stuff. I haven't seen The Crown. I never watched The Crown because I don't give a damn about Queen Elizabeth. I'm gonna say that out loud. I don't care who. So there was not named 1 minute of that show that I was gonna watch. But I do know that somebody who did watch it told me that she was not even that happy-go-lucky to become the queen. She wasn't even like ready to do that at her young age in her 20s. And then she's ruled her whole life.
It's funny you mention that because she actually became queen by happenstance. What happened was her father, who was the king before her, he only got the crown because his brother, because it's usually the older male.
Yeah.
And I don't want to screw up this word, abdicated. He pretty much, y'all see Coming to America. Y'all remember what Eddie Murphy said he renounced his throne?
Yes.
That's what Elizabeth's uncle did, which made his father the king when he died, which made Elizabeth the queen. The father had like, and everybody over there back then used to smoke. I'm talking about like 40 cigarettes a day, and every single one of them was dying of lung cancer, and I guess wondering why. But the father, hey, I was watching the episode of The Crown. Like they literally had to, Becca, they had to remove one of her father's like lung, like one side of his whole lung. You know what he did immediately after he recovered?
Went back to smoking.
Oh, fuck cigarette. I did it. So anyway, so the crown when his brother renounced his throne, it fell on him, and when he died, that's how Queen Elizabeth became the queen. She reigned over 70 years over Great Britain, and the people got to understand the Commonwealth that comprised of 56 sovereign nations, and there's places some people don't even know. Like she is the queen of Canada. She is the queen of Jamaica. She is the queen of well, she was. I'm speaking she the queen of
Was
well,
because the witch is
yeah,
dead.
she was the queen of Australia. And a lot of people don't know that. Now, monarch, the British monarchy, now they're kind of like, they're apolitical though. Like they're considered heads of state with no, they don't have no like real power. But they have a lot of influence, if that makes sense. But people have to realize, like Trevor said, I'm one of them types. I'll never ever wish death on nobody because I'm a huge proponent of karma, and I've seen people celebrate people's death, and I promise you, I've literally seen them mourning, like not soon after, suffering the death of a major family member. So we had this professor from Nigeria. Her name is Uja Anya, and I don't even know if I pronounce that like Merv does. She's from,
that's that town education coming through.
Right.
That's how we're high right there.
She's a professor somewhere in Nigeria, and she came out on Twitter and she said that I heard the queen is dying. I hope she dies the most excruciating death possible.
Yes.
Jeff Bezos, the richest man on the planet, if I'm not mistaken, he felt compelled
to check her,
to check her for this.
Right.
And my thing is like, Jeff Bezos of all people, like, I mean, like you're the richest man in the world. Like, you know nothing about being oppressed. You know nothing about being anybody's subject.
Not a one thing.
And people have to realize the British. How do you get an empire? This is by going on somebody's land and say, "Look, I rule over y'all now. I'm y'all queen, and that's just the way the fuck it is going to be."
Right.
And that implements rules, certain standards, and things like that you have to do. So my thing is, from a historical aspect, everybody's shocked. But you know what? I never did think, but we should have been thinking like this one was going to eventually die. Like, I never even thought when I was little that there was going to be somebody other than the queen that ruled over. But she was 96.
She lived to 96. Like,
that's a full ass life. And the thing is, I'm kind of like with Trevor. And I guess it's different if it's a family member or whatever. But if you got family members that sticking around until they, I'm not saying you shouldn't be sad or whatever. But to me, though, when some of these very, very old Lowe's deaths, for me, has always been a little easier because it's like role reversal. When you come in as a baby, you can't do shit. You can't take care of yourself. People got to wipe you, feed you, and all that stuff. And to an extent, when you get close to triple digits, you go right back to that space.
And you've even mentioned that, like, me and you have had that talks about, whether, you want to live old, because at some point, your mortality does come to play. Now, I do know some people who are in their 90s that are functional, and you will never believe they're in their 90s. But then you have some that they look like they in their 90s and they on their way out. And just like Trevor said, she had a good run. She was not only a good run because of her age, but a good run because she was a queen for almost all her life. For 70 years. That's a long ass time. She was a queen for 70 years. All right, it's time to go. And the new king is right behind her. So we're gonna go through this again in a couple of years.
Yeah, he up in age. He about 70. God damn, you only give the man you only giving Charles a couple of years? King Charles, my bad. Hello, King. Remember that shit coming up? Hello, King. Yeah, but he's old.
He's in his 80s.
He's in his he's 73 or 74. So we may, long live the king and all that good shit that they say over there. But we may very well see in our lifetime, he was 73. Ingrid in the building. We may very well see like 2 coronations. Because the coronation, I think they're gonna have a coronation sometime next year.
He's already tired. He didn't even want to sign the papers. He was like, I don't want to sign this bloody thing. He's already tired. He don't want to be the damn king. So and we all know when you don't want to do a job, you give it the very least. So he don't want that job, which means he's not going to be really good at it. So one or two things are going to happen. He's going to denounce his throne of King Zamunda, right? Or
I renounce my throne. I am no longer the prince. I'm no longer the prince of Zamunda. Does this make you happy?
I renounce my throne. I am no longer the king of Zamunda. And it's gonna be some chick on the train. If you're really a prince, I'll marry you. So yeah, he's about his way out too. He's tired. You got guards fainting. It's a whole catastrophe over there.
Yeah, but if after line of succession, because they take that shit really serious over there, in case anybody was wondering. Not Harry. Harry's older brother. I keep forgetting his fucking name. What is it?
Let's talk about the city girl, Camille.
Is it? Yo,
the original city girl. Before there was a JT and a Young Miami.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but that's a good point, Ingrid. She did go from shy chick to queen. That's a thing, because when matter of fact, I think both this is Charles was fucking around on Diana, and Diana was fucking around on him, right? And Camille has been a mainstay. That's been this down chick even when he was married to Diana and all that stuff. So Camille is the they call it the queen consort. She's the husband of the actual king, but
that sounds like a bomb ass Tyler Perry movie right there.
the queen.
That sounds like a good Tyler Perry movie with bad wigs.
She already given no servant. That's how shy chicks do. I mean, we want to do reconnection, but yeah, like I say, the whole thing is very interesting to me because I'm a history buff. I've been watching it. I've been watching all the coverage and all that shit. Like I said, I've been watching, The Crown and all that shit. But my key thing is a lot of people will get in an uproar if somebody says, oh, damn the queen, all they did was oppress people and all that stuff. Like Trevor said, you can't have the expectation because you got people, mainly white people, they will go like they feel just as bad as the folks over there in Great Britain. And it's like if you say she ain't our queen and a lot of people got oppressed under her reign, they'll look at you like you're crazy, like you need to show some respect. And you just can't have that expectation. You can't have that expectation for people to feel the same way about somebody that you feel. That you can't expect them to feel the same way that you feel about somebody's death, because it's all about, like you said, perspective. We are viewing these things from different perspectives. I mean, when I heard the queen died, I just looked at it merely from not a mourning standpoint, but from a historical standpoint, because for most of the people that's on the earth right now, she is the only monarch that we've known over there because she reigned for 70 fucking years.
Right. Like when I heard her death, I was like, oh, okay. And I kept it moving. I wasn't excited like, yay, she's gone. I wasn't angry about it either because we don't if you want to get technical, they're not real royalty to begin with. But that's a whole other part.
But I know
we got Wakanda, we got Black Panther, and we got King of Zamunda. We don't need them. We got our own kings and queens.
The only king you acknowledge is T'Challa.
You don't say the only king I acknowledge is T'Challa. Like, come on. You know this. We're not connected to them like they are in other countries, but they are part of our history and our Black history, especially when you're dealing with the Indians, the Jamaicans, and things like that. So yes, they are part of her being queen is part of our history, and the fact that she dies means a major change for those people, and that is history. We're not gonna. I was gonna say we're not gonna experience this again, but we just might in a few years. So just hold your horses.
Charles up there. He up there.
It's coming again, and then after him is Biden. I'm just saying. I foresee it. I'm not a psychic. I'm just saying, like, these are the things that we're going to see in our time because we come from the understanding that our government is ran by old white people. These old white people are getting older and they're dying. So this is going to be our children are going to have to be dealing with some of this stuff. So this is what happens when you age. This is things that's happening, and when you're dealing with government and how much they have power over almost everything, a death in that magnitude is going to affect a lot of people. So I get what people are saying. It's like, okay, let's not focus on her death, but let's focus on what this change means, because King Charles really is not with it. He's not with it, and that could backfire. That could backfire on a major level. But we can't take nothing serious, so we gonna have jokes. Black Twitter was in a frenzy that day. I cackled all day. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had a good damn laugh that day. And that's just the truth. Don't be super, super happy that she's gone, but you don't have to be sad about it either, because like, come on,
Yeah, I just think that the whole thing is very, very interesting. I've been following it because that's the shit I like to follow. Seeing it. Not angry, but I think if somebody dies, you think about what they've done to other people, you grieve for them, I automatically shift to yep. And keep in mind that there
Black,
was
Irish, and Indian Twitter was lit. English.
the stuff that
Indian
happened.
Twitter.
And a lot of black people are going to when that I guess the first thing that a lot of black people may have thought of when the Queen died was they immediately went to Meghan Markle, Harry's wife, because how they came out with an interview on Oprah and say how racist his family was. Harry was saying how racist his family was toward his wife. They were talking about how dark the kid was going to be, and but when I thought back to all that stuff, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of sort of I wasn't celebrating the death, but I was like, man, you really got folks out there that still really looks at like color as a thing or whatever. Like this kid's skin is going to be darker, so he's not. What is he not going to be? Because he's going to have a little melanin. If anything, he going to be lit like a motherfucker.
But what he's not going to be is dark, because Megan is light as hell. So
exactly.
That was even dumb to say that. That was just them wanting a reason to be racist, because Megan is light as fuck. So that baby was not going to be nowhere near beige. Okay, relax.
But you got to realize something, cuz you consider the darky that them motherfuckers over there. Oh, darky, what are you doing over here? You Black Rican, shit.
Right.
You consider the darky.
But a Puerto Rican, that's me. But yes, according to them, I'm the shade of Lupita. I get it, but that's not shocking to us. And I already have my thing about Megan, so I ain't gonna do Megan like I do Megan Thee Stallion. I'm gonna leave her ass alone, because she black like this and not like this. But anyway,
and the thing is,
she's
if you listen to Harry's interview, it caused a rift between him and his brother, because his brother was saying, well, my family's not racist. And him and his brother used to be really close. And when they had that big fallout, because they really did not approve of Harry marrying Meghan, which I think that's when all black people told the fucking Crown and everybody over there to kiss their ass.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But
Rika said one drop of black blood and you Wesley Snipes.
Oh, that's right. That's a whole fact. That's a
one drop and you are Lupita. Yes. Yes. So okay, great. You don't like us, we don't like your ass too. That's why we laughed when you died.
Yeah.
Sounds like even Stevens to me.
Now, I think they're saying King Charles's issue is that monarch is supposed to be apolitical. They're not supposed to choose one side or the other. Mainly their role is to advise, to warn, and to educate. They're not supposed to take a side. But Charles was very vocal as far as now King Charles was very vocal as far as environmental stuff and things of that nature. All of that has to cease. And y'all know how some men are, especially old white men, like you can't really tell them what they can't do. And this dude, the whole king, he might say, you know what, I'm changing this whole shit up. I'm gonna have a voice. I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. So Becca, you never know. He might have to pass that shit to his son because
he will. He's not gonna be doing it. Yes, I do think so. I think that just may not be just because of his age, but you do know that when someone has been in ruling for that long, it's like when you have an older couple and one dies, the next one dies right after because it's just they got to be together even after death, till death do us part. It don't be the truth because I have a friend of mine whose grandmother died and then her grandfather died 2 weeks later. He had to be with her. So sometimes those things do happen. So I don't think that he's going to be ruling very, very long. I'm saying a couple years just to be funny, but I'm maybe 10, 15 years, maybe he's definitely not doing 70. So, and I don't see him doing any more than 20, 25, maybe. So, yeah,
God
we're
damn.
going to go through this again. Maybe Jasmine will go through it. Maybe I may not see it in my lifetime. Maybe Jasmine will my kid will see that and piece it together. Because now it does create the ball going because King Charles is not going to rule like Queen Elizabeth ruled. I do foresee it being very different.
Hmm.
So he's already from what Vika posted. He already is not with it. He's already giving them hell. He's ready. He came in and shaking the table. So it may be
Di-
a lot of changes that we see coming up.
Hold on, Diana was down with the Brown. I didn't know that now.
I can see
Diana,
that.
Diana was giving it up to Shaka Zulu type dude.
I could see it.
Okay,
I can see it.
okay.
I can definitely see that.
Let me quit. And the thing is, I was in I think I was in basic training when Princess Diana died. But I was kind of wondering, I'm like, I'm like, why is this a huge deal? Because we got the papers. That's all we got. We couldn't do, sometimes we didn't get that shit. Sometimes all we got was shut the fuck up, you're in the army now. But we did get to see the papers and shit like that. I was wondering, like, because it was national news or whatever. I was
Yeah.
wondering why it was such a huge deal. That was just me, though. Oh,
Well,
hold on. Whoa, the plot's sticking. So,
yeah, she was with her little boo thing.
wow, that
And
the fix.
another reason
A
why
lot of people, a lot conspiracy theorists saying that was planned now.
it could have been, but either way, people like Princess Diana because she was a little bit more I don't want to say humble, but she wasn't a type she didn't rule like Hitler, right? She was nicer, she was more personable, she was kind. She wasn't with some of the rules that they had. So she was a little bit more, lenient and graceful when it came to some of the rules. She wasn't hated like that. And then the way that she died made people angry too because she was being chased just because of how much hate she had on her. She was being chased. So it wasn't just like she died of natural causes. She A lot of people felt like she was murdered. It's almost like she was being watched and they did what
Damn.
they could do to kill her. And if it was a car accident, chasing her, the paparazzi played a big part because paparazzi overseas is very different than in here is in the States. In the States, they'll be 5 miles away from you and can zoom into the color of your eyeball. But in overseas, paparazzi is dead in your face with
Sure was.
cameras.
That's a fact,
They don't
Ingrid.
care.
That's a fact.
And Ingrid said Diana was getting more media time than Charles because she
I
was
didn't even
alive.
know. I didn't even know what the fuck Charles was, man. All I heard was Diana. Shit.
All I heard was
But
Diana and then Elizabeth. So yeah, I mean, long story short, when things like this happen, you're dealing with Black people and the oppression that we constantly have to deal with. If there's any ease up to that oppression, let people live. Let people be rejoice that the ruling that has been over them for generations upon generations has changed, is gone. Now, what's going to happen next? We don't know. But the person that's connected to all the oppression is gone. That's something to at least feel relieved about.
damn.
Just keep it real. Listen. I know for me, I don't. I think the only celebrity I might shed a tear on is probably Jay-Z, maybe Beyonce, maybe Nas after last night because he really did have a good concert. But other than that, I never even. I'm a huge huge Biggie fan. I thought it was same thing with Tupac. Really big fan. When they passed away, I was like, oh damn, that's tragic. That's really, really sad. But the way these people are, who never ever met these old crepit people, like you are really crying like it's your child that died. I don't understand the connection. But then again, somebody corrected me one time and was like, well, wasn't y'all super happy when Obama became president? And y'all know that nigga. So okay, great. I'll
You
let
know
y'all
what?
have that right. I'll let y'all have that right. I don't know Obama. Obama don't know me, but it was very I was very happy to see him as the president, and I don't know that man. So okay,
I
great.
got a I got a real good segue. We're gonna do this. We're gonna pivot real quick before we go to our main topic.
Word.
Celebrities you would cry over if they died, and you name my number one. Let me tell you why, cuzzo. President
Jay-Z.
Obama, no, not Jay Z.
Oh,
Believe it or
Obama.
not,
Okay.
not Jay Z. President
Yeah.
Obama. Let me tell you why. When my and my brother told me the story. I think I had already went in the army, but they were watching CNN or some channel, and my dad and I think Brandon was still in high school, and they were watching Obama. I think he was a senator or a congressman in Illinois at the time. They watched him speak and all that stuff, and he told Brandon told well, my father told Brandon that dude probably could be president one day. And this is at a time whereas I think when I was in high school, I really didn't foresee anybody not being a black male being a president. I didn't even think when I was really young, I didn't even think that people of color or women even I thought that was a disqualifier. when I was little, I
Yeah.
literally because
You
all
only,
you see is
all you have to be is white and male. That's it.
and like Pat Williams, all you see is white, white, white. You look at the picture on the wall that they have white, 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 white. So
Black.
so
Yep.
when Obama, I remember I was in Germany when he won, and I cried when he won, simply because, and the reason I cried because my father wasn't there to see it, but I couldn't believe it. I know he had a really good chance of winning, but that was historical. So I think that when Obama passed, because besides my father, that's one of my heroes, simply because of what he achieved, the way he carries himself, his intellect. He's funny. He's just a good overall dude. So Obama would be I'm trying Obama would be one for me. Will be one for you besides Jay Z.
Well, um, would I cry if Obama died? I wouldn't actually shed a real tear, but I would be sad. I would be really sad. And I know because I guess I can liken it to how these people are with Queen Elizabeth. Like for us, that was not that we put that much love into the government. That's not what I'm saying. But just
Oh no, it ain't got nothing to
that,
do. Yeah,
that is history for us. That is our history, a most closely related, understandable,
bingo.
tangible history for us. Our parents, if they were still alive, this is their also first time seeing a black man as president. For our generation, the first time seeing a black man, a black person in general, a black man as president. Our children, this is their first time seeing this. So this is their history. It may or may not ever happen again. So this may be a one-off. So for us, we are, because just like Princess Diana, Obama, regardless of what people thought he was going to be able to do, was likable. And there were a lot of countries that hated America and did not want to do no dealings with America and American government at all. But because Obama presented himself to be so respectable, they were at least able to have a sit down conversation with him and say, what can we do? It wasn't about what he can do for the black people, because he is the leader of the free world. So he can't only consider black people, but because he is black with a black wife and black children, because that is important, those were
Well,
something that was in the forefront of his mind. So we may never see this again.
what
And
what
he's
really
still he's still our president. You got people right now that would say my president is Obama. It ain't gonna be nobody but Obama. Obama is over there in his polo playing golf. He is not trying to worry about nobody's government, and he is still people's president. We don't care a damn about Trump or Biden. Everybody's president, if you black, is still Obama. So it's going to be a situation where that is going to be, it might be as big as this, where you might have the whole country mourning. That will be a time where you will see people like the whole, that's, it's going to shut the world down like COVID did. Obama is
Not,
gone.
not the whole country. Shit.
Not the whole country.
You got a lot.
It might be the opposite of what we see. We might actually vision white people rejoicing Obama's death. And we're going to have to understand what that means. Because it's going to happen. And you know, Trump is going to be the first one. He's going to be the first one on Al Gore's rhythm talking shit about Obama. We already know what's happening. If he don't quote first, because he's much closer than Obama is.
And Obama is 10 times more healthy. He's not obese like Trump's fat ass is. So light. Right. But yo, I don't want to, because damn, we 40 minutes in, and let's get into the main shit. All right, so I think the highlight of the weekend, you know, the New York State of Mind tour has been going on for some time now. We got a little sneak preview. Our homegirl Tina B attended the one up there in New Jersey. She got some treats we didn't get because Busta Bus was at theirs, and
we
so
didn't
was
get
Meth.
meth.
Yeah, she did get Meth. Now we didn't expect. I don't think we expected Meth to be out there, right? Because Meth is filming a new movie. Is he filming in South America?
I don't know where that man is. He said
Anyway,
he wasn't going to be around.
Yeah, it kind of made sense for him to be in New Jersey because, you know, that's close to New York, and you know that's his homeboy Meth. I mean his homeboy Redman. That's so I kind of get that. But yeah, the New York State of Mind tour hit Charlotte yesterday, and you had some of our very own. We was able to, you know, get up and fellowship and attend the concert together. As a matter of fact, hell, okay, we got Ingrid in the comments. We got Sharika in the comments. I think so everybody that's on here right now, me, you, all of us pretty much was at the concert last night.
Right.
And I saw Sharika post. And the thing is, you know what, Becca? I found out that so many fucking people that I know from Charlotte was at that concert last night. I ain't running into none of them motherfuckers. I couldn't be like I would say over 30 people. I ain't seen none of them. All I saw
was too many people. Let me tell you something. I've always known that there's a lot of New Yorkers down here in Charlotte, but last night was the congregation. It was like the New York Festival at the PNC Pavilion. We were deep, like real deep. Like I think maybe 2 people in the audience was from Charlotte. Like everybody else was from New York or Jersey or, you know, up north, as they say. But yeah, New York was deep. And it wasn't just, I already knew that it was going to be our generation that was going to be there. But I was quickly checked when I seen old people, like gray hair people in there, they was going buck wild for Wu-Tang. And I seen teenagers in there too going buck wild for Wu-Tang and Nas. I was like, what y'all know about the great?
I'm glad I ain't seen none of them motherfuckers. They, you know what?
They was in there with their dirty
sneakers. Their parents raised them right though, because they know about Wu-Tang and Nas. Their parents raised them right if they teenagers. They did a good job to the parents for putting them on to some real damn music, but it was all about the 35 and older crowd last night, and it felt like that, man. And I'm not saying that because DJ Scratch said that. He opened up, let me get 35 and older. He said, let me get 40 and older. He said, I'm not going no higher than that. But it just felt like it was our era. It felt like it was people that you went to high school, people that you went to school with, listening to music from the best era. There will never ever be another era like our era of music when we were growing up as 80s, 90s babies and stuff like that. There's never going to be another, and that's how it felt last night. Let's talk about all the I know white people love Wu-Tang Clan, but boy, there was a lot of white people out there. As a matter of fact, when I got there, because we all a couple of some of us were fortunate enough to meet up. Some people will meet for the first time. I got to meet Tayson for the first time. I got to meet I got who else?
His twin
Tayson's
brother,
his twin brother, and one of the other homies. I got to
their
meet
friend.
Ingrid for the first time in person. You got to meet everybody for the first time in
Yeah,
person, right, Becca? So
yeah,
we had a really good time, you know. But the video, oh my god, the video that tell them about the video because I was talking about all these white. I never you had some die hard. A lot of white folks. I like when I got to the parking lot, the cars that parked like right were a bunch of white people. With their
yeah.
Wu-Tang stuff on, bumping. Talk about the video. I need you to tell
So
talk
I'm in
about
the
talk
parking
about.
lot. So I'm in the parking lot, and I get there a little bit early because I'm familiar with the PNC Pavilion. So the traffic is bonkers. So you got to get there early enough where you can get a good parking spot. And if you're there that early, then that means you probably chilling a little bit before they let the doors open. So I'm parking, and I hear this red minivan blasting Nas. You would think that the concert has started and you're on stage. She was playing it so loud. And I look over and my husband is looking and I'm like, what is he looking at? And I look in the car and this lady has got to be in her 60s. She is definitely wearing makeup that does not look good on her face, bright red lipstick, windows is down. Like she about to sell you like we like same time, nigga, like same time. Like
The
she was
unedited version, she was. I forgot what song it was, but I heard cursing and all, and she was bopping her. I'm like, what the fuck?
listen, and she was getting her bop on. She had her one arm hanging outside the driver's window, leaned back, just chilling. And when she seen me and my husband pull next to her to park, she just gave us a quick head nod, like, "What up?"
Whoa, hold on.
And
She did like
couldn't
that.
resist. I had to record her. I had to
She
record
did
her because
not.
I need
She
to
did not give you the universal silent black. What's up? She did that.
Yeah, she gave me the universal
Oh shit!
nod. I
Yeah.
was
Because
like,
white people usually do it. How are you doing?
yeah, she
We
looks
took.
like that. My husband was saying she looks like that guy that the girl that dates black men. Like she dates black men. That's her. Like all her life.
Because there is a difference. Like white people usually say, "Hey, how you doing?" We be like, "What's up?" That little quick thing with the back of your neck where you like, what's up? That right there.
Yeah, she was
Focus, y'all,
definitely
y'all.
she was bumping it. And she was by herself in the car. So I thought maybe she was with somebody and they was just waiting for the gates to open or whatever. She was by herself in that red minivan, and you could not tell me she wasn't a drug dealer. Like she was out there chilling, bumping Nas real hard. I was like,
A damn
okay,
soccer mom. Well, soccer grandma, I guess you can call her.
absolutely a soccer grandma. And then when we been standing in line, we seen these kids. Now this kid look like he ain't take a shower all week. He
Wow.
had on them Yeezy slides and they were orange, but they were like orange and brown because you could tell he's just been kicking dirt in them. He looked like a bum, a straight up bum. He had on like some dirty basketball shorts, an oversized
Damn.
t-shirt, standing in line ready to see Wu and Nas. And I was like, what they know about Wu and Nas like that? But then again, we were talking like at these rap concerts, we want to see our people because we know when you're going to see Wu-Tang and Nas, you're going to see a bunch of black people. But we forget that a lot of these rappers, they sell out overseas to straight white people. And the majority of
Right.
them don't even speak English. But they're a lot of their fans, they rap concerts, most of the crowd is white. So it's not like it's a takeover, yes, because New York was in the building and there was a lot of brown folks in the building, but there was a lot of others in the building too. And they wasn't just there looking around like to kind of be part of the crowd. They was in the crowd. They was jumping with us. They was dancing with us. They was singing the lyrics with us. They wasn't missing no lyrics either. They knew the words like we did.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I hear that.
Did you find yourself looking at them to see if they were gonna say the N-word?
No, I was too busy.
Like, yeah, you looking at I know you know them lyrics, motherfucker, but one N-word come out your mouth.
No, one N-word split, it's a rap.
And you looking at their mouth like this as they recite the lyrics.
Right. Hey, you like it was they and the thing about it is that the concert opened up with DJ Scratch, which was so dope because he did like a set
Oh,
from
he did
each
his
borough.
thing.
And then each borough he went to each section. So like he went to Manhattan. He was like, we in Harlem, we Upper East Side, we Lower East Side. He's like, let's go to Queens. We went to Queensbridge. We in Jamaica, Queens. Let's go to Brooklyn. We in Bed-Stuy. We in Brownsville. It was dope. And I love situations like that where, we're just like you said earlier, we're middle aged, and that's something that we have to come to grips with. We are
We
middle
are.
aged.
We are.
We are middle aged, and those type of situations are very nostalgic. Besides the fact that Wu Tang is like 50 of them, so we was like, oh Lord, this is gonna be a 5 hour concert, and it was
At,
just about
at least we're all still on the right side of 40 though, because once you get 45, that's when people start saying, yeah, you're on the wrong side of 40. But
right. You
God
got
willing,
more
we'll all
years
get
behind
there.
you than ahead of you.
Yeah, but God willing,
Yeah,
we'll
but
all
we had
get there.
we had a
But
really good time.
so DJ Scratch opened up, did a nice little set, and I think the RZA came out first, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the RZA came out and he talked about he had him having ties to Charlotte, which was dope. Said his family grew up in North Carolina and they migrated up north and all that stuff. Which, back in the day, people in the South that was like sick of that bullshit as far as things have always been better in the north as far as for black people. So a lot of families would move up north. But then he brought out the Wu. And I wouldn't say all rappers, but most rappers don't age. That's still true. Because the only person that looked like they kind of age and they've been having a hard life is Ugard. Ugard look old. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He
Raekwon
looked
looked a little old too. Raekwon was struggling. You could tell, like he was after a while he was wheezing because there was no. I was expecting Buster, so I was expecting Wu Tang to open up, then Nas, and then Buster. But we got no Buster. I wasn't expecting Meth because he already said he wasn't going to be there, so I wasn't really expecting him too much. But after a while, you could see Raekwon was just standing there and spitting the rhymes. And at some point, here's the telltale that your artist is getting tired when they point the mic to the audience and want y'all to finish the lyrics. That's because they gotta catch their breath. They gotta catch their breath. They tired. They are tired. So yeah, Raekwon was struggling for a little bit.
he
Even at
still
the
looks,
very end, Nas was sweating. Nas
but
was sweating a little bit too.
what I'm saying is Raekwon still looks young to
He
me.
does still look young. He's just out of
So does
breath.
so does Ghost. So does the RZA. Uh, just he, I mean, just to me, he always looks like regular. He looks like the regular guy out of the whole group. Uh,
Yeah, he
but
does.
they
He didn't
came
do
out
the outfit changes like everybody else either.
right. Yeah, yeah. He was like, "Fuck that! I'm just wearing this black on black, and I'm gonna just ride out with that."
That's it.
But
You're gonna get
what has always been
the
cool,
yellow W right here, and that's it. That's what you're gonna get.
yeah, and what has always been cool is that ODB's son, who looks just like him, got the same hairdo. They've been able to bring him out on every tour they've been on, and he does all his dad's. I always
Yeah.
thought that was so dope. So he was there. I think the Wu did a couple of sets first, and then they brought out. I think they bring out Nas and then him, Raekwon, and Ghost did a
Yep, they did
verbal.
their song together. Yep.
That shit was bananas. That shit was extremely bananas. And speaking
Yeah,
of rappers, not
I like the way
huh?
they broke it up. I like the way they broke it up. It was Wu Tang
Yeah,
and then Nas. And Wu Tang came out and then Nas came out and did a song with Wu Tang and then the rest of them left. He finished his set and then Wu Tang came back out. Then Nas came back out. Then Wu Tang came back out. Then Nas came back out. But it's like that like SpongeBob. 5 hours later. We was still in there. RZA was talking. He was giving shots to the front row. I was like, oh, we're never gonna get out of here.
yeah. I think that's around the time I pieced out when he started giving out the shots because all I was worried about was the traffic and being able to get out. I'm sorry I missed one mic, but I know Nas did that after I left. But I think Nas got to hold the title for rappers that don't age. Nas look like he can pass for 25. That's the way I look at it. That dude don't age.
Yeah,
that
he
dude,
looks really good.
That dude does not age. And Nas lyrics is timeless. He put on a good show. His set was fire. Hey, I had a good ass time. That's all I got to say. But I could not stress. Like I think I might have texted John during the show. I'm like, man, we grew up in the perfect era for music. There's absolutely positively never going to be another run like this. As far as I'm trying to figure out what the fuck people like my son and them gonna be listening to, because unless they gonna go because I don't know. It's just kind of hard to explain, because it seems like there's been such a gap. Of course, we got good rap artists out there, but it's not like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? You don't have mainly no groups no more. Really, all of the groups are like your older groups, like Wu-Tang, Outkast, things of that nature. And same thing for the R&B side of the house. There ain't really nobody out there making no noise. So I'm just wondering, what the hell they gonna do. But
I don't know who my daughter's gonna go see in concert. Like
I don't know.
I have no idea who she's gonna be able to bump to 20 years after they come out, because these people that's out now, no, absolutely not. I don't want her to go see them now, and let alone 20 years later.
What was your favorite part of the concert?
I think at Nas's third outfit change, Sean is gonna have to quote me on this, because after 3 outfit changes, it was at that point where I was like, wow, Nas really do got some hits. He really do got a good solid 3 hours.
He has a timeless catalog, and there's a lot of stuff that Nas could have performed that he didn't. Nas probably could have gone for another hour. I don't think people realize how extensive Nas's catalog is. I mean, I know me and Sean spar about the Nas and Jay-Z thing, but in all actuality, we revere each other's favorite artists. Nas did his thing last night. When Nas did If I Rule the World, and when he did I think he
did Street Dreams was good. Uchi Wally got the crowd going crazy.
It did.
Uchi Wally does really sound great in a large arena like that. And Omi too. Sean was saying Omi. But my husband was saying that, like, last night kind of solidified, and I hate that I'm going to have to say this on live TV.
No, don't do it.
I know. Don't do it. I know, but I got to be honest. Now that I heard Nas's a small portion of his catalog, a Nas and Jay-Z versus would be dope. Look at Tayson. Don't do it, Becca. Don't do it. I know. I don't want to say this on live TV, because then now it's on record.
Right now, you about to be what we call a prisoner of the moment. I know the concert is fresh on your mind. It's less than 24 hours, but let's don't do what I think you're about to do. Don't do what I think you're about to do. We got Sean in the comments now. But please, don't do it.
No,
look
at Sean.
Let's not do that tonight. Let's not do it.
No, I'm not gonna say it. But Nas' catalog really did shine last night, and I got 5% more respect for Nas.
There we go. I'll take that.
Yeah, we're gonna give Nas 5% more respect than we did Saturday. So yeah, but it did put into perspective to me that I see what Sean is saying about Nas's catalog. Like, he really can go toe to toe with Jay-Z. He really can, and it won't be hard. So I get it, Sean. There, I said it. Look at this one. He's talking about let Rob say it. come, babe. Come on camera and say it. Come on camera and say it, so I don't have to.
I've been saying this the whole time. Like, the only person who can really get at Hov is Nas, and on my marriage, Nas a win.
That's biased.
No,
That's
you
very
didn't say
biased. That's very biased. And I'm deleting this pod as soon as we're done with it. That was sacrilege. I'm just kidding. Yo, check this out.
Queens get the money.
Boo! Brooklyn, stand up. Brooklyn, stand up.
Yo,
We got our house divided over here.
hey, yo, I'm mad because I know Sean liked that shit to stop. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Look at the comments. Look at
What
the
they
comments.
were doing?
Look at the comments.
This is
Not
ridiculous.
oh man, Ingrid in on it too.
I don't know if I don't feel right about this. Hey, but I will
All
tell
right, you
you.
know what? That's the end of the pod, y'all. Good night.
Yeah, shut this down. Pull
We
the
gotta
cord.
go. Shut
Yo.
it down.
Hey, real talk, man. I mean, even before this concert, man, we all know that Nas is one of the GOATs. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I don't even think his catalog ever should have been in the question or anything like that. We like to go back and forth about the Nas and Jay-Z thing, but I mean, we got what we got from Nas. Did we expect anything different though?
No,
I didn't.
no,
I know he was
I
going to do his
expected him to
thing.
really have
He
a
did.
show.
He did a lot of cuts from my favorite album, which people still kill me for. I've always liked It Was Written over Illmatic. He did a lot of cuts from that. And Nas is one of the GOATs. I mean, I really don't. I'm not shocked that he performed the way he did last night. Real talk. Damn.
Sean said, Rob is invited to my anniversary at the Hamptons next year. Becca can stay home.
Wow.
It'll be my pleasure.
And,
Yo,
wow.
Nas
Hey, yo,
rocking the Carcanine.
We didn't talk about that. These cats still. I mean, these are cat. Y'all don't understand, man. Wu-Tang. When Wu-Tang came on the scene in '93 and the video started coming out, I wanted to be. I'm like, this is it. This is the pinnacle of rap. You got a bunch of dudes. All of them know how to rap. All of them look fly as shit. I want to be these guys. Me chilling in South Carolina. That's what I wanted to be. And just to see them about 30 years later, still looking fly, doing their thing, still with the flow and all that shit. It was really good. It was a good look. It was money well spent. I can tell you that much. It was money well spent. So
yes, it definitely was.
I'm gonna say this, Becca. I'm gonna pay homage to them to Nas. I'm gonna only give it to them one time though.
That's it.
I don't know if I should say it though. I don't know if I can fix myself to say it.
See, that's why I didn't say it. I let Rob say it. I let my husband say it. I can't fix my mouth to say it.
I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay.
Right, but shout out to Nas, Wu-Tang. We had an amazing show last night. Charlotte was definitely in the building. New York was definitely in the building. I had a great time meeting up with the guys podcast. We really did have a good time laughing and joking with each other. It was really good to meet everybody.
My only one regret, I should have known. I've known Rika damn near my whole life. I should have fucking known Rika was at this damn concert so she could have linked up with us as well. I should have fucking known she would have been there. Her of all people.
Yeah, she could have met up. She could have met up with us.
Next time, Rika. Next time.
Yep. We'll definitely make that happen. Sean wants everybody to know he's gonna wear the velour suit that Nas had on at Thanksgiving dinner this year. This is
why
all day, y'all, with Sean.
This is why I trash Nas, because Sean. He's the only reason. Like, he's literally the only reason. But that's neither here nor there. That's for another pod. But like we told y'all, we was gonna be in and out this motherfucker. I had a great time, cuzzo. With you had a great time.
Absolutely. It was good to come back. It's been a minute since we've been on camera. I've been gone for a while.
Yeah,
but I'm back.
But we right back. We right back like cook crack. Like they say. We right back in the building. Before we get up out of here though, Sean wants y'all to know that he had on the Park Hill shirts. Ray and Ghost did have them on as well. I don't know how you got that information. But I think he spilled some Coke on it, some Coca-Cola on it. So I think it was brown and nasty looking by the time he left the concert. So we want to put that part
Definitely.
in.
And probably stretched out because he wore it 2 sizes too
Yeah,
small.
all of that. I'm hating on the Park Hill shirt. I think he spilled something on it, and the stains can't come out. I mean, I don't know if that happened, but that's what I hope happened. Anyhow,
When he washed it, it's gonna shrink.
right? Yeah, let's hope for all of that.
He's gonna have to give it to his daughter.
I represent.
I'm manifesting that Sean's shirt shrinks when he washes it.
Oh, you know, before we get up out of it, do you remember the crowd went bananas when they played Ice Cream too? That shit was lit. It would have been better if Meth was there, but that shit was lit.
No, Rika, we didn't talk about his pieces, his jewelry that was the whole half top of his bottom. Like, I mean, the top of his shirt. Like, come on. He had that one. Nah, that it was a QB or the letter N. Listen, this man had definitely had. Now, y'all think that fake ass pastor had $1 million worth of jewelry on? Lies. Nas definitely had on $1 million worth of jewelry last night. Probably more than that. A couple million worth of jewelry.
I think Nas made a deal with the devil, man, because Nas looked like he's 25 years old, man. I don't know how Nas made a deal with the devil. He got that little. He got that potion. You remember and Death Becomes Her with the two ladies got the little potion and their ass kept broken, but they like mannequins and shit, and they fall down the stairs and they keep fucking themselves up.
Yes.
Nas made a deal with that lady because that motherfucker looked 25.
Yeah, he had on a Queensbridge chain and the letter N chain. They were nuts. They were at least the size of my hand. I don't have big hands, but
it was alright. It was alright.
You talk about a Jesus piece? Nah, it was a big ass dookie chain. And was really ought to know that Jay wouldn't be able to hold up. Okay, great.
I didn't know that Nas played quarterback in high school. Is that what the QB mean? Okay, let's keep going.
Right, him and Lorenz Tate are not agents. And Pharrell.
See, we went to a whole Nas concert, and Sean just can't help. Jay-Z been living in his head rent free since I've known him. So hopefully he gets over that one day. But
you sleep the hate away tonight.
Let's get up out of here, man. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I'm just gonna say this in regards to Queen Elizabeth's death. She's gone. Y'all got about 7 days to mourn her, and then we moving on. Okay. No more think pieces on whether somebody should be mourning her death or not. Some people don't like her ass, and if somebody that you don't like die, at some point you're gonna get over it too. So that's what we're gonna do. 7 days. The scriptures say you got 7 days to mourn, and that's it. Wrap that shit up. Wrap it up. No more mourning about her. We moving on because you got to save some of that mourning for King Charles.
That's fucked up. But hey, so final thoughts. I ain't gonna mess with it. Hey, yo, check this out. Dope ass concert. Nas did what we already knew he could do. Wu-Tang did what they already. I'm just glad I got the opportunity to see both of them in concert. Before we get up out of here, shout out to the squad. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Merv. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Team Bean.
No, we are taking Sean and Merv shout outs back. They've had enough today.
Yeah, they've
had enough today.
We putting them in the corner. They need to go stand.
They are going in the corner. We're gonna shout out Tina, Mark, me, and you, Rika, and Ingrid. That's it.
Tazon, Street Team Mark. General was in the building. Got to meet that brother yesterday. Got to meet Tierre, his twin. I don't know Jacob his name. Got to meet him and the other brother they had with him. It was always good to fellowship and eventually meet people that you've been fucking with for over a year on the podcast. That's always great. Got to meet Ingrid yesterday. Shout out to her. Shout out to Facebook Live. Shout out to YouTube Live. Shout out to our wonderful viewers listeners out there on 1 Mile High Radio. Shout out to everybody listening on Stren TV. Shout out to everybody, all our partners out there that's helping us out in the background, all the silent partner, all that shit. I like Sharika's final thoughts. Final thought: Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Couldn't agree more. I'm trying to make sure I ain't forgetting nobody. Oh, shout out Blackjack, Bobby Blackjack TV, channel 199 come through. Y'all been fucking with us for the longest of time. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate that. We gonna be right back here tomorrow for the Merv and Tazon show, where they're gonna be discussing the latest episodes of Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, and the House of the Dragon. I haven't seen the House of the Dragon episode. I've watched this shit right after, but the Raising Canaan episode, episode 6, that shit was the bomb.
I'm about to go watch it right now.
Y'all better get the fuck involved tomorrow and get on this pod with Merv and Tazon, because they're about to put it down. I can't wait. Hey brothers, I might have to come on there, man, because I know when I was watching Raising Canaan yesterday, I was like, what in the fuck is going on? So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same for House of the Dragon. But check them brothers out on tomorrow, Wednesday. Y'all know how we do. You ain't know who could be on the pod Wednesday, but we pod on Wednesday. So Wednesday pod, trending topics. We gonna talk our shit. We go do what we always do.
Yep.
But I think that's about it.
That's it.
Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll see y'all tomorrow at 8 o'clock for the Merv and Tazon show. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Bye.
Motherfucker.